Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we have a very busy day ahead of us, so I'm going to prepare dinner ahead of time. It is currently 8:48 in the morning, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the meal today. And the meal that I'm going to share today is very simple. It's a chicken recipe. Now I am going to remove the skin, but I like to buy the bone-in chicken thighs with the skin on because it's a lot cheaper. I don't know if you've ever noticed in the store, the one that doesn't have the bone or the skin is a lot more expensive. So if you're on a budget, choose the one that has the skin and the bone in. I'm going to start by prepping the chicken first. Okay, here I have 2 cutting boards and 2 knives, one for the veggies and one for the chicken. Let's start by cleaning the chicken first so we can season it. Let's open this up. Peel off the skin, and it should come right off very easily. And then the excess fat, you can trim it off. You can trim it off entirely, or you can leave some on for extra flavor. Now, the reason I like to use the bone-in chicken is because it does add more flavor to the dish. The one without the bone does cook a little bit faster, so your dish can be done in a quicker time. Once I trim it, I'm going to put it in a strainer because we are going to rinse it before we use it. Okay, so I'm taking the chicken thigh and peeling off the skin. It should come right off. It's not really hard to do, but sometimes it's more convenient to buy the one that's already trimmed and ready. It's completely up to you which one you want to use and if it's in your budget. I'm very frugal, so I always look for good deals when I go to the grocery store. And when they have them on sale, I stock up and freeze it. Okay, so here we have all our chicken trimmed and ready to go. So now we're just going to give it a quick rinse. Going to leave it here to drain while we prepare the veggies. Now before we begin to chop the veggies, I'm going to make a marinade for the chicken, which I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano, half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. And we're just going to add everything to the bowl. And we're going to mix it together. This way we have it ready to season the chicken once the water is drained out. And we're going to set this to the side. Now I'm only going to use 1 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to use a little bit of chicken bouillon to adjust the flavoring. Now if you're watching your salt intake, you can add more salt. You can use kosher salt or any other salt of your choice or seasonings of your choice as well. So we're going to set this aside so we can begin to chop the veggies. I'm going to start by chopping garlic and onion first. I'm going to use about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. I mean, the amount of garlic you use can vary because a lot of people aren't very fond of garlic. So if you don't like garlic too much, you can adjust it by adding less. Just like all of the ingredients, you can adjust any of those ingredients to your taste, to your needs. They're kind of small, so I'm probably going to use maybe 5. There. And I'm going to use these again. I'm going to use the other one for my trash. The skin is sometimes hard to get off, so I usually, since we're going to chop it anyway, I'm going to give it a tap like that so it's easier to remove the skin. That usually does the job. And if you have any other tricks on how to remove the skin, leave them in the comments so we can all learn from each other. There we go. There we go. And it just comes right off because we're going to chop it anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's whole or not, right? Sorry guys, I sneezed really loud. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah, we have all of it off. Okay, so now we're just going to finally chop it. But I'm not sick. I think it's the garlic that's making me sneeze. Gosh, maybe I've eaten so much garlic that now I'm allergic to it. That would be bad because garlic gives food good flavor. So being allergic to garlic would be really bad, for me at least. Okay, so now let's put the garlic in our little plate. Okay, that's all of the garlic right there. Now we're going to pause and we're going to season the chicken so it can start to marinate. So I'm going to put the chicken in the bowl and I'm going to drizzle it with olive oil. I mean, you can use whichever oil you prefer, but I'm going to use olive oil. This is going to help the seasonings to stick to the meat, and it's also going to help to fry it. That was about 2-3 tablespoons of it, give or take. Un guante para mezclar todo, one glove to mix everything. Okay, so that's about half. And then we're going to mix it all together. Look at that beautiful color. All right, let's add the rest of the seasonings and mix it again. Okay, so we're just going to let it sit. Take off the glove, and then we're going to continue to chop the veggies. Okay, so now we're just going to chop the onion, the tomatoes, the jalapenos, which I'm going to use 4 jalapenos. If you want it spicy, you can substitute them for serrano peppers, depending on how spicy you want it to be. And I'm also going to use 4 Yukon Gold potatoes to make it even heartier. Okay, let's get chopping, and then we'll head over to the stove to begin cooking. And like I said, this recipe is very easy and it comes out super delicious. So make sure you watch till the end so you don't miss out on any of the steps. I started making cooking blogs around COVID when everyone went on under lockdown. I did it as a hobby to keep me busy, and just in case something happened to me, you know, there was a virtual cookbook for my kids so they can look on how to prepare their favorite recipes. And I didn't think it was going to take off because I'm not the greatest at, you know, making videos. I had to learn everything on how making videos, editing, recording. I had to learn everything. It was all a big learning process, but thank God I had my kids that know a lot about that. My daughter, who taught me all the editing tricks, and I learned a few on the way, and now I'm teaching her a few of my own that I've learned. It's just been great being at home, cooking for my family, and being here for when they need me. When my kids were all small, my older kids, when they were small, I was working 2, sometimes 3 jobs in order to, you know, to pay bills and keep food on the table. And now I'm enjoying my life, you know, spending it at home, doing what I love. So for me, it's been great. And I really appreciate everyone that's been here from the beginning, because you saw my process. My videos weren't the greatest, and everything is a learning process like life. But I'm really enjoying it. I am going to continue to do this and help my husband with our family business, which I am going to reveal in another video. But for now, I'm going to keep it a secret. So make sure you stay tuned to find out what it is. All right, so let's finish these veggies and then we'll head to the stove. I'm going to remove the seeds, but you don't have to if you don't want to. The seeds do add a little bit more heat, but so if you want it extra spicy, you can leave them in there. I am going to add a couple serrano peppers though to add a little bit of heat. Yes, I know I'm removing the seeds to remove the heat, but sometimes I feel like the seeds give me heartburn. I don't know. I've just take them out of habit. I don't know if I should. You know, do you leave the seeds in your peppers? I've been taking them off. I don't know why. I just have. We acquire habits. We don't even know why we do them. We just do it. I take them off, but you can leave them in there if you want to. Okay. I'm going to leave the seeds for the serrano. Okay, there. And now we just need the onion. I don't know, I should use the whole onion or just half. I think I'm only going to use half. Yeah. Sometimes I just cook as I go. I add extra ingredients and just go with the flow, because sometimes you don't have all the ingredients. It's happened to me before. I'm making something and I'm like, oh darn, I don't have this. I go, oh, well, I'll just use this. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow, and sometimes you will surprise yourself on what you can make with just ingredients you have at home. And I've been trying to do that, because I have the habit of, I have all these groceries and food in the fridge, and then, oh, I think of something else to make, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I have to go to the grocery store now because I don't have the ingredients. And I've been forcing myself to use what I have in the fridge, because so nothing goes to waste. So sometimes I come up with really good dishes. This last couple of weeks, I came up with a really good stir fry for my son, because he's weightlifting, and I made a veggie stir fry with turkey, and it was so good. I was surprised on how good it turned out, and he loved it. So maybe I'll share that recipe with you later on in another video. Oh my gosh, I'm crying. Soy celosa. That's what my mom says. If you cry when you chop onions, that you're celosa. You're jealous. All right, so let's take this. Estoy tirando la cebolla. Mira, saltó hasta allá. Let's take this to the stove and begin cooking this. Okay, I'm going to start by heating up a little bit of olive oil over medium heat. Then we're going to begin to add the chicken. This recipe doesn't really require a whole lot of ingredients, which is one of the things my mom taught me growing up, that you don't need a lot of ingredients to make something delicious. And this is just one of the recipes that she taught me how to make. So let's start by cooking a few of these pieces on here. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit everything into this one pan, so I'm going to probably have to use a bigger pan. So I'm just going to use this pan to sear the chicken, and then we'll use a different pan to cook everything in. And we're going to sear for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. So I did end up switching out the pot just so you can fit everything once we're done, and we don't have to worry about it later. So I'm going to get all that's in the pan and just scrape it into the other pan. All right. And yes, I'm using a Christmas spatula. It's okay. All right, so we're just going to sear these, and we can probably fit a couple more on here, so I'm going to add a few more pieces on here. It smells delicious. Este grandote, mira. That's a big one. Now we can probably fit all of them now. This is my mole pot, so it can fit a lot of food in here. And we'll put this aside so we can put them in once they're done searing. I'm going to turn over the middle ones because they seem to be nice and crispy now. Now this is not going to completely cook the chicken, but it's just going to give it a nice sear, and it will continue to cook once we add it back into the pot. Remove the chicken. Nice and seared. Now we add the tomato, onion, and the garlic. Mix it all up. We're going to saute this for about 10 to 12 minutes or until everything is well broken down. And then we're going to add in the potatoes and the chicken back into the pot. At this point, the tomatoes have a pasty texture. So I'm going to begin to add the chicken back into the pan. Last one. And all the juices that drained into the bowl, we're going to add those in there as well. You can enjoy it just like this once it's done. Or you can add potatoes, which is what we're going to do because we want to make it even heartier because you never know who's going to drop by for dinner. So you always want to have extra. And I did cut them into about 1-inch pieces like these. And we're just going to drop them in over the chicken. And we're going to give it a light stir just to get those potatoes seasoned with all those delicious seasonings that are in the pot. And then we're going to cover it. And we're going to simmer on low for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. I guess you can say this is my version of pollito con papas. Who doesn't love pollito con papas, right? It's delicious. And while I'm waiting for the chicken to be done, I'm going to prepare a quick rice recipe. When making rice, you always want to use the 2-to-1 ratio, depending on what type of rice you're making. In this case, we're making white rice my way. I'm going to use 2 cups of rice, therefore I'm going to heat up 4 cups of water. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, and I'm going to mix until it's completely dissolved. Once the water begins to boil, add in the rinsed white rice. Mix in the rice to ensure that it's completely separated. Cover and turn down the burner to low, and cook for 10 to 12 minutes over low heat. Then remove it from the heat source without removing the lid, and allow it to rest for 10 to 15 minutes before removing the lid. Our dish is now done. These are all the juices that rendered from the dish. I didn't add tomato sauce, nothing of that sort. It's just all the juices that rendered from the chicken. And let's take a look at the rice. Super fluffy and perfectly cooked. Oh my goodness. I usually don't eat this early, but what the heck. I gotta try this and make sure it's good for everybody. And this goes with pretty much any rice recipe that you prefer, but today I wanted to make a quick one and just do a plain white rice recipe. This is the rice and the chicken and potatoes. Let's give this a try, and hopefully my husband comes so he can try it too. He's busy doing other stuff today, so I'm running solo today, but that's okay because when he's ready to. Oh, there he is! Come on! Try this. Make sure your head is not cut off.
I can do this. Okay. What's going on? Ooh.
Chicken con papas.
It smells good.
You want to try it?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I?
I like la tortilla.
Oh, man.
It was just a little early. Go wash your hands.
I'm going to give it
Wash your hands while I give it a try. I'm going to try it first this time. Pa que se te quite. All right, I'm going to take. I usually like the papitas nomás, but I grabbed a little piece of chicken as well too. And papitas con arroz and the tomato sauce with the jalapenos. It's the best, at least for me. Let me see.
All right. Let me try it.
Here, let me help you.
It's soft. It's breaking apart.
It's just hard to break it apart with just a fork.
My mouth is watering.
And this goes great with flour tortillas. ¿Está rico?
That's really
¿Te
good.
gusta?
Yeah.
Cómetelo todo.
Man, this is really good.
I'm glad you like it. You think the kids will like it, or they'll order out?
I think they would like it.
I hope
My
so.
kids are really picky.
I hope so. And I hope you like it at home too, because once you try it, you're going to be hooked. So if you try it and you add different ingredients, let us know so we can all learn from each other. Thank you for watching, and make sure to join us in the next video with another delicious recipe.
And don't forget to subscribe.
And make sure to smash that like button so we can continue to show more recipes like this one.
And more are coming.
So long, guys.
Bye.